In this video, I would like to dive into the topic of scanner personality, how it is to live with it, what it is in general, and if you can control it. I will start with a personal story. My husband always tells me Oprah quote that she said, "You can have it all, just not all at once," something like this. I always say, "You can have it all at once." He also could say something like, "You cannot have everything in the same time," and I say, "You can have everything in the same time." So basically, we always have this kind of situation when I want to do everything and to put everything in the same day. For example, if we are going for a trip, then if I'm started to focus on a new project, he is like, "I'm not sure you should be doing it, maybe you should focus on your main business," and I'm like, "Okay, no, I want to do it because I can create 100 reasons why I actually can do it and why I have time even when I don't." So who are the scanners? Scanners are people like me who don't want to focus on one thing. They want to try different things, learn different things. They are big learners. And in the same time, it's not that they cannot focus. It's just they don't want to focus. And this is one important thing. I think it's kind of like when people say like, "Oh, you maybe should focus because focusing is the key." Right, it is actually correct, like it's 100% true, but in the same time, that's not something that scanner personality people want. So there's one main book. It's called Refuse to Choose. I didn't actually read it yet, but I've read lots of information about it and gonna read it in the next month, because as a scanner I have 6 books that I'm usually reading in the same time. Then now I finally managed to cut it to 3 books. Recently I created one new rule that I'm gonna read 1 book at one time, which is very hard for me. So in this book, the author talks about the scanners and divers. Divers are opposite of scanners. So for you to understand who are the scanners better, you can clearly understand who are the divers. Those are the people who focus all their life in the same profession. They have 1 or 2 hobbies. Like perfect example is my grandma. You don't know her, but she is like that. So basically, she is a teacher for maybe 50 years, maybe more. Yeah, for more than 50 years, 55 years, she's working as a teacher. She studied to be a teacher, she started work a teacher. She is working still at her 73 years old as a tutor and a math teacher. She has 1 hobby. She likes a few things, but basically they are all around home. So she's a person that doesn't go and do lots of crazy new hobbies. And opposite of her is me, who always wants to do everything all at the same time. And basically I have minimum 3 to 4 hobbies at the same time. And as soon as I get on a level that I'm very good in something, I'm starting to get super bored and I just drop it. Yeah, that's not something that I actually love. So I try to work with it, and there are ways how you can control it. This is not from the book, but from my personal experience. And I'm sure that after the book, I can also implement new things and share after how it went. So let's first of all summarize the symptoms of scanner personality. It is not a syndrome, even though sometimes people call it a syndrome. So the first one would be an ability to focus on one thing because of both desire and just as it is in your personality, you just cannot do it, you know? Then, for example, another symptom that I have is reading many things in the same time, watching several shows in the same time, getting bored in one thing very often, and basically always jumping from one thing to another. So you would ask, like, what is the issue? The issue is that sometimes you do need to focus, and basically it can get out of control. For example, this spring, so half a year ago, I found myself in a situation when I created 3 new projects to my main business, and basically all these new projects end up to be new businesses, so I had to work on it equal amount of time. So what I did, I made Monday one business, Tuesday another, Wednesday another, and Thursday another. And Friday was like kind of a learning day when I do operations of all of them. It was such a mess, and like Yeah, in the beginning I started all this kind of activity saying like, oh, I can do it. My husband like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, I can do it. I definitely can do it. And like, just do one thing at a time. And of course, my main business little bit suffered from it because it didn't grow so much. And over the summer, it wasn't my best months. And that was a big mistake. So for example, this is how it can get out of control. So now let's talk about how you can actually manage it. In my experience, things that I created even before knowing that this book about scanner personalities exists. So number one thing I've read in the book Essentialist is that multitasking and multi-focusing is not the same. So you cannot focus on several things in the same time, but you can multitask. For example, that is something that I'm enjoying a lot. I love multitasking. And for example, I like listening to the music, like some new playlist, new album on my favorite DJs, and at the same time doing, I don't know, some work on the project, right? That's one. But I cannot think of a business development of two projects in the same time that are from completely different areas. This is multi-focusing. So another example, you can wash dishes and talk to your spouse or to your kids. No problem, both things you are doing good in the same time. But you cannot focus on washing dishes and do kind of like a meditative state. You cannot run and talk and think about your work in the same time. So like this is too many focuses. And in the same time, what you can do is multitask something that is simpler tasks that you can do on the routine, one, and another, for example, like listening to music, and another is something that requires your focus. So focus can be only one. And this is something that I'm practicing and is working very well for me because I can still, for example, drink something, listen to music, and answer Slack, because Slack is my main focus. Other things are something that I'm focusing on, I'm just doing it. Another one is to put clear goals and try to stay consistent with the main things that you decided to do. So in my business, it helps a lot the system that we implemented several years ago that's called EOS, is Entrepreneurial Organization System. This system helps a lot to organize your company and also put rocks for you and all your team. For myself, I put these kind of goals that, for example, for the next year, I'm going to focus on YouTube and do one video a week, which I am doing already for 3 months. And this is like a huge win for me because staying consistent is not something that scanner personality can do easily. Another one is to create a to-do list for every single day with priorities from urgent to low priority and always start with the highest priority tasks from urgent ones. Then go like from then the high priority, then lower priority, medium and lower. And so that helps a lot as well because like this, I wouldn't just go and browse the whole internet, find things to do in my business, create new activities, new projects, So this is something that the team would suffer as well from. Is multi-focusing, which cannot be happening because like this you won't achieve anything in any area. So that's something that helps me a lot. I think it's something similar to the rocks, but no, because it goes into everyday to-do lists. And so the last one is also related to my main business, Retalent Agency. I decided when that happened in the summer that I was focusing on too many things. I decided that instead I would be creating new projects inside my agency. So instead of creating projects outside, creating new businesses, I'm now mostly creating projects that we are working with the team together inside the agency. For example, something new about marketing. Now we are developing my personal brand, so we are on YouTube and LinkedIn. Those are two projects. They feel like different businesses because you need to learn a lot about it. So I dive into learning a lot about YouTube, learning a lot about LinkedIn, how algorithms work, and how do you succeed, how do you create videos, everything. So everything is very new to me, and I dive into it with my team together. but it is inside one business. So then the business doesn't suffer and it works wonders as well. Same with the hobbies. So instead of, for example, I do pottery, and instead of just doing the same things all the time, which I already like, for example, I have lots of dishes that I made at home, but instead of making the same kind of dishes, I started to make something different, like creative ways, create a present, and like this I can continue doing the hobby that I like. Continue improving, finding new projects inside my hobbies as well. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I really would like to hear from you why you watched this video, if you did. If you learned something new about your personality, maybe you are more of a diver or more of a scanner, or you're none of those. And if you decided to watch this video, maybe you are a scanner, what kind of issues you face with. So I would like to hear all that. Thank you very much for watching, and talk to you later. See you soon.